Hey guys, this is Brock Frazier, physician assistant from Command Family Medicine, bringing you our May video newsletter this time. So we're actually switching formats from e-brochure to video format because we think it's going to be a little bit more convenient for you guys and bring a higher level of value. So our highlighted command service this month is going to be Grail by Gallery. Now, Grail is a blood test that tests for over 50 different types of cancers in the body. And in the US, we have a handful of screening measures for different common cancers, but there are dozens and dozens of cancers out there, and we have minimal tools to figure out if someone has cancers, before it's too late. So what Grail does is it detects methylation patterns in the cells throughout our body to determine whether those methylation patterns match up with cancerous methylation patterns. And it's actually pretty effective at picking up cancer throughout the body. 2/3 of the leading cancer-related deaths in the US, this test can pick up with greater than 50% sensitivity, meaning the majority of the time, if one of those cancers is in the body, it's going to pick it up. And that is an incredible sensitivity for a multi-cancer test. The test, I believe, is $950. And if it's something that if you wanted to get it done on a regular basis, you could do every year or every 2 years, depending on your specific risk, especially for those who have kind of a peculiar family history of cancers where there's really no great way to be screened. This is just something that could be helpful and provide you a lot of peace of mind. So make sure you talk to your command provider about whether Grail would be a good option for you. Our topic this month is sleep. Sleep is a super complicated subject, it goes without saying. But today we're going to talk about why sleep is important, what quality sleep looks like, and then how we can make sure that we get good quality sleep, which is where we're going to spend most of our time. And then we're going to touch briefly on supplements and sleep tracking devices. So why is sleep important? Well, sleep is really the time that our body and our brain has to literally rest and reset and recalibrate. So not only does our body go through a whole lot of inflammation and wear and tear in our joints and our muscles, but our brains expend a lot of energy. Our nervous systems get really taxed by cortisol, adrenaline, stress throughout the day, anxiety. And so it's really important that we get really excellent sleep so that our bodies can physically heal and so that our nervous systems can really reset. And this helps keep our immune systems strong, keep our hearts strong. It literally helps our memories function well and can help kind of remove some brain fog that we sometimes experience. So when you think about the benefits of getting quality sleep all the time, your chances of diabetes and obesity and even hormone dysregulation and forgetfulness and crippled immune system, you get to kind of push all that to the side and keep your body and mind prime. So what does quality sleep look like? Well, it really comes down to this. There is light sleep, there's deep sleep, which is slow wave sleep, SWS, and then there is REM, which is rapid eye movement sleep. So light, deep, and REM. So, light sleep is when our body is preparing itself to get into deep sleep. That's when it's lowering our body temperature. It's just helping us drift off into deep sleep. Once we get into deep sleep, that's really when physical rehab happens. And then we can drift into REM sleep, which is when our brains really recover. This is where our brains are prioritizing what memories and events from the day that we want to file away and learn from and which ones we want to get rid of, because our brains can't afford to remember absolutely everything. We have to prioritize what we want to keep. So it does all of our memory filing when we're in a REM sleep. This is a really high brain activity stage of sleep where our eyes are moving all around, and it's also the stage of sleep when we dream. So what it looks like to get healthy sleep is basically to have the right proportion of REM sleep, deep sleep, and light sleep. For instance, if you had a really stressful day and you go to bed and you're still worried at night and your wheels are turning and you go to sleep, well, your nervous system is going to sense that there's a monster out there, that something's wrong, that there's some sort of a threat. So you may get a much larger proportion of light sleep and only a little bit of deep sleep and maybe just a little bit of REM sleep, because your nervous system is on edge and it doesn't want to commit to that full deep sleep. So it's really important to get plenty of deep sleep and plenty of REM. So now let's talk about the nuts and bolts of how do we actually make sure we get quality of sleep. So it comes down to three things. There's sleep hygiene, quantity, and then it comes down to our environment. So sleep hygiene is really the study of the things that we do leading up to sleep time. Technically, it does include like environment and that sort of thing too, but the important thing is the consistency of our sleep and wake time, and then whether we're drinking alcohol, looking at screens before bedtime, staying up too late, being stressed out before we go to bed. It's just those things that we do leading up to going to sleep and how consistent we are. People like to drink alcohol in the evening to kind of take the edge off of stress, and this is an absolute sleep killer. On one hand, it makes you feel like you've been able to kind of put some of the stress of the day aside, but at the end of the day, it actually increases your average anxiety level. Even just 1 or 2 drinks per week can do that. So just keep that in mind. Maybe try to keep alcohol to more of like special celebrations, or you can look up online ways to kind of detoxify your body if you are having 1 or 2 drinks in the evening. But lower alcoholic intake for most people is going to be better for your health when it's all said and done. Sleep apnea. Between 86 and 94% of people that have sleep apnea are undiagnosed and untreated. And so if you have a rather large neck, if you snore loudly at night, if you wake up in the morning with headaches, if you have excessive daytime sleepiness, if you have any of those things, touch base with your command provider. Ask them if you might have sleep apnea and if it might be worth getting tested. Right now, it's a $199 in-home sleep test, and it's really important if you have that to get treated for it, because it can completely change the quality of your life for the better and also extend how long you live. So lots of benefits there. When in doubt, talk to your provider. The last thing we're going to talk about as far as how to get good quality sleep is the environment. Our body temperatures have to decrease at night for us to get into deep sleep. So the first thing there is sleeping in a cool room where you aren't buried under too many covers. You want to be cool but comfortable. The second thing is you want the room to be pitch black. No flashing lights, even the glow on your watches. Sometimes you want to remove literally all light, because it's not just our eyes, it's actually our skins that have receptors that tell our bodies as well that it's light outside, maybe it's not time to go to sleep yet. So we want it to be so pitch black in the room that if we wave our hand in front of our face, we literally cannot see it. And so using blackout curtains or putting up a board in your window, whatever you need to do, try your best to black out the light in your room. The last thing that I want to talk about is supplements and tracking devices. For supplements, melatonin, something you can try. I do recommend that you only use this for times when you need to reset your circadian rhythm, or if you're sick and you want to keep your immune system strong. Otherwise, it's not necessarily a great thing to take all the time, but you can start with 1 to 3 milligrams and see how you do, and you can graduate up to 5 to 10 milligrams at night for adults, and that shouldn't be a problem. The other thing is Serenity PM. This is a supplement that Orthomolecular Products makes, and we can prescribe that at wholesale cost for our patients. So keep that in mind. There's plenty others. There's deep sleep. There's taking magnesium at night. And then as far as trackers go, there's Oura Ring, there's Whoop tracker. It's what I wear. I have it on my left bicep right now. It tracks my sleep stages every single night, and it tells me exactly to the minute how much sleep I should get every night and when I should go to bed to make sure I have met my sleep requirements. And it gives me a daily recovery score based on my heart rate and how quickly my heart rate changes to meet my body's needs, and all kinds of things to determine how recovered I am. So I know that if I were to have a drink or two or something at dinner, before I were to exercise extremely hard the day before, the next morning my recovery is going to be really low, because my body is really needing to continue to rest to catch up from that stress and inflammation on the body. So guys, if you have any questions, please contact your command provider. Hope that you found this video helpful, and we'll be bringing more content in the months to come. Thank you.